All right, so business picks up here finally. MJF enters and he's
Oh yes,
fresh off
yes,
a
yes.
fatal four-way victory over the other pillars, and he's still the champion, still the man. So let's see what he comes up with today. He's gonna come in and do his regular heel stuff. He talks crap to Colorado. This time he calls everyone druggies. I never heard that people in Colorado are a bunch of drug addicts. I don't know. Never heard that
Because
stereotype.
because I think they were the first state to legalize marijuana. Maybe.
Is that true? Okay.
Yeah.
And then he calls it a boring town. I don't know. I've never been to Colorado, so I mean, but if there's drugs, how boring can
Well, he was
I'm
so
kidding.
good here. He was well, yeah, yeah, exactly. But there's drugs. How boring could it be, right? But no, it was great when they were chanting or they saying that he sucked. He said, "Colorado, your mother swallows."
Oh God. Yeah, I know. Honestly, some
He
of that
was
is
in. Yeah, sorry. Go ahead.
no. I was gonna say some of that stuff is kind of cheap. Some of his heat he gets when he just straight up talks crap and calls people stupid and poor.
I don't know, man. I thought he was in tip-top form in this promo. I thought he was great. I thought he was just aces here. He was basically the one shining moment on the show. I felt, but yeah, let's. I mean, let's talk through it.
Well, so he says he's got no competition left, and Adam Cole's music hits, and he comes out to his dramatic music, and the crowd's all into him. He's got a lot of fans from his history before AEW, and he comes in. Danielson tells him to stop because he's all into his entrance. He always does this. It's too flamboyant.
Yeah,
You know, I kind of agree with Jericho. Get to work, man. You haven't really done anything here to prove yourself, but okay. He's living off his former glory, as a lot of people are in AEW.
mm,
But
mm.
let's see, MJF cuts a promo to him in front of his face. Let me read some of my notes and see what he says here. Um,
Yeah. I got
actually,
a couple of
actually,
notes.
he put him over at the beginning, right? He's like, finally,
Yeah,
this is good competition compared to what I've been dealing with. And he says he looked up to Adam Cole when Cole was in Ring of Honor and CZW, that he studied his tapes, and
right.
that he thinks he was the best NXT champion. So he's doing a good job. I mean, because he knows he's gonna have a match with him, so you don't want to shit on the guy you're gonna have a match with. Make it look like at least it means something. Don't just come right off the bat. But he does eventually put his foot on his throat and tell him some hardcore mean things that might get to him, might get to his emotions, let's say.
Hmm.
But he made fun of. He said he hides at home playing video games, gets no son, that he looks like a virgin golem. So it makes fun of his physique. Says he used to be
Mm.
in good shape. And he says that the fans are wrong because they say that he hasn't been showcased. But he says they give him the big ring walk entrance. They give him the girlfriend, which is true. They let him have, Britt Baker as a girlfriend in storyline. That puts him over, makes him look like a cool dude. Gave him a big role in that reality show. But he says Adam Cole's had all the opportunity, and that he hasn't. But he puts himself over. He gets himself over. And
That's correct.
he oh, then he talks about how he left NXT because Vince McMahon
Oh
didn't think he could be a
God.
top guy.
Yeah.
That was the big insult at the end, and MJF said he agrees with Vince about that.
Yes. Yes. Oh my God. So there were so many good lines. This was an amazing spellbinding promo. Obviously, yes, he started off really well, just talking about how he looked up to Adam Cole, but then he said, but the guy that came to AEW looks so frail, he makes crack whores jealous. And I popped so hard on that. I thought that was hilarious. I laughed so hard because obviously there's been a lot of people talking about, I guess, the body or the
Yeah, that
physique of
he's a thin guy. He doesn't look like a guy who could beat
Adam
anybody up.
Cole. And then of course when he started talking about Vince McMahon and how, like, yeah, I think Vince was right. I thought that was great too. But Adam Cole did have one good line about, like, I think he kind of made a joke about, like, hey, my body's natural and you're kind of on roids, whether
Yes,
that's
I was
true or
gonna
not.
bring that
And,
up next. Yeah. What do you
oh,
think?
okay.
We always used to talk about that when we'd see a wrestler and we'd be like, "Damn, that
Uh,
guy's obviously on
I
roids."
don't
What do you,
know.
I mean,
I
I've
don't
it's the
know.
first time I've heard anyone mention that about MJF, but good point. He
Yeah,
is hella ripped. I mean,
he got hella
I
ripped. He got hella ripped.
is it because he's really that disciplined and he wants to be in shape, or maybe it's just like a wrestling thing that you got to get on roids if you want to consistently be that ripped and be the top guy? Because who can do
I
that, man? Can really MJF? It's like he looks amazing. I mean, I kind
Yeah,
of
he looks
see what
great.
Adam Cole's talking about here. But again, you can't say we don't know what's
We
going
don't
on in
know.
them.
I mean, he doesn't look like crazy, like roided up, like the guys from the '80s, or like even like The Rock now, or whoever. He looks really good physical shape, but I don't know. I mean, could he be? I guess you can't never say never, but I never really thought of it when I watched him. Like, oh, this guy's on the juice. So I don't know. But anyways, that was a good line, and I did laugh. But then MJF came back. He's like, "Well, that's a tough talk from Keith Lee's manager," and I popped again. And I popped again because that's hilarious. I laughed so many times during this whole promo because I'm like, man, this guy's so good. I mean, he's just so good. I mean, he carried the whole. I mean, whatever program they're doing here. I mean, to say that he carried it is not even
Well,
doing it justice.
well, before you say that, let me go through a little bit of what Adam Cole's response was when he got the microphone.
Sure, yeah, he said some things. He said some
Yeah,
things. Go ahead.
he said something. So let's analyze and who did better in this bagging contest. Um, he shit on MJF. He said that was not a good promo. He shit on the promo that MJF just cut. He's like, is that a
Yeah,
good promo? That was not a good. I thought you were the best. So I don't know. That wasn't that strong. I think he called him a toxic social media troll. The way he makes fun of people, and he
yeah,
said
whatever.
Britt Baker could beat him up, could beat up
Yeah,
MJF.
well, if she can beat him up, she definitely can beat Adam Cole up. Then so
Well, that's true too. That's what
yeah,
MJF did say that she owns his balls, but I mean,
right.
what guy's girl doesn't own his balls? So that's not such a
That's
bad
true.
thing to tell someone. But
Yeah,
he called MJF a world class douchebag. Okay.
yeah. I mean,
Also,
come on, this is
not that.
all
Yeah. He said the steroid thing. At least he's
okay.
natural
That
and
one I did. That one I enjoyed because I did laugh at it, but I don't know if this is like as we just discussed how true it possibly could be. I
it's
really
still a
think so.
good rip. It's still a good bag.
It wa- it
And
was a good
MJF
rip. That was that was his one good line I felt.
MJF looked pissed off about that, and then
Yeah,
he said that the boys and that the audience don't respect him as a human being. I guess that nobody
whatever.
respects
I
him
don't
as a
know.
human being.
I mean, okay, like that matters very. I mean, if that's definitely not a good bag. Like, who cares?
Yeah, MJF he responded with he doesn't care about that. He's because he's rich, and Adam Cole goes on to call MJF a coward, and that's
Whatever.
how he kind of ropes him into this match. And he
Yeah.
tells him that you'll never fight me, and MJF's like damn it, I'll fight you any day of the week. So they made it that Adam Cole actually did get under his skin, and he kind of got over on him in this segment, and MJF let him get over because he tricked him into a match. They're gonna have a match next
Yeah, I
week.
mean, but I didn't. I don't. So they're having a match. I think they said for next week. But again, it's one of those. What do they call it? Eliminator matches. So is it for the title or is it not? What does that
No,
mean?
it's for a chance at the title. If he wins, then he'll get a title shot. So
Okay,
um,
I got it. It's
potentially he
just a
could.
weird way to say non-title match. If he wins, he gets a chance at the title. But like eliminate
Well,
was
they've always
like
had matches like that.
yeah,
Just they never called it that. But I
yeah.
don't mind them having a
But
non-title. They could just call it a
yeah,
non-title match. That's what it's always been called. If you win, obviously you should get a title shot. They don't need to call it a
right.
title elimination match. It does.
Eliminator. Yeah, but overall, this was really good. I mean, obviously, basically because of MJF's work as a heel and just as a promo, which I mean, he's as good as it gets in wrestling as a heel promo. I mean, I don't think I haven't seen anyone this good since like the '80s or early or late '90s, and and stuff like that. The top guys, basically, the top promo guys. He's up there with the top promo guys in the business of all time.
I agree.
I don't think
I
that could,
agree.
I don't think that can be debated. Like he is
Yeah, everyone
so good.
respects him professionally. He's just a douchebag. They don't like him because
Well,
he's a douchebag.
whatever. I like him either way. I mean, but anyways, yes, I think he got this angle over pretty well. So I'll give him credit. And now there's some interest in this match.